Well, the question then arises, was Brian Clough allowed to stand or fall by his decisions? Was he given time to carry through his policies? Was he given the backing that he needed from the team to do what he wanted?
I would prefer you to say the board of directors to that, because the team don't dictate that much. The team can have a vote of confidence or that type of thing. The team are the be-all and end-all regarding the results on the field. Well, regarding the confidence, it's essential to have the confidence, but the men who make the decisions are directors in football.
Well, let's start with the team first of all.
Well,
are you sure that that team was playing its best for you?
Oh, I'm absolutely certain.
With results like that?
Oh, results like that, of course they were playing their best. They couldn't do anything else. It was second nature to them.
Thank you. Let me ask you a question. How long have you lived in Leeds?
5 years.
5 years.
And I've never seen such a disastrous start to the season.
But have you ever seen a Leeds United team, ever, and the present team, and starting off of this season, ever not try? They might have bad times, they might miss open goals, but never ever you accuse or insinuate that a Leeds United side never tried. Because there's never a player going out on that pitch with a white shirt on that's never tried. He might have a bad game, he might miss open goals, he might do bad things, but never not try.
OK, well, I accept that, but there have been claims that there was, in fact, a vote of no confidence, or something amounting to that, passed by the players. Is that in fact correct?
That is absolutely correct.
Well, how did you react to that?
Oh, I wanted to be sick. Oh, I wanted to be sick. If you had a vote of no confidence with the people you work with, that way I would assume you would react exactly the same. I felt sick.
What was the main reason for it, do you think?
I don't know what the main reason was. I think, you know, the fact that I didn't have time to get to know them and this type of thing. I do believe, honestly, that whoever had walked in would have had the same thing. Plus the fact that all the other incidentals went against us, i.e. results and that type of thing, which I've already pointed out are the main thing.
Well, let's stay with this point of the vote of no confidence. How do you react to players, in effect, passing a vote of no confidence in the manager after such a short period?
I honestly feel, knowing Leeds United players, as long as I've known them, they must have had a very good reason to do that. No respect to Brian, I must feel and say what I feel about Leeds United players. They must have had a very good reason to do that. Why? I don't know. I had enough problems on my hand with the England job.
Whatever the reasons, do you condone players acting in that kind of fashion? Doesn't it make a manager's job impossible?
No, I do not condone players at all doing that in any club, because I think it's totally wrong, and I think directors are wrong to listen to it. But I can't understand why the Leeds United players, if Brian's true what he's saying, if they voted a no confidence vote in you, Brian.
Not exactly a vote, but the feeling was there, yes. No, a vote's a very strong word, but the feeling was definitely there.
Well, how far was that kind of feeling there? Because, in a sense, you've been critical of Don Revie himself. We had a programme here a few weeks back on which you were implicitly critical of Don Revie. You said the contracts unsigned. Now, is that the right kind of line to take to a man stepping into the shoes of a revered manager?
Now, if you're asking me now, did I make mistakes, the answer is yes. I am not infallible. I definitely made mistakes. Having said that, when you say that I criticised Don Revie about unsigned contracts, I stated a fact that there were, when I took over, 11 contracts not signed. Now, if it was Don's fault, if it was the chairman's fault, if it was the player's fault, that's immaterial for this particular argument. There were 11 contracts not signed. That is fact.
Well, Don Revie, you saw that programme and the accusation. What was your reaction to it?
Yes, and Austin, I phoned up that night.
Yes.
And asked you if I could face Brian the following night, and I got no reply. Talking about the 11 contracts that were unsigned, all contracts were basically agreed in the minutes with the directors of what each player was going to get. Brian is possibly right, the contracts weren't signed, not by 11, I would say by 5 or 6. And all these things were agreed in the minutes, that these contracts were agreed, and I'd agreed with players. And all players have signed blank contracts from me for 13.5 years. And I've never had one scrap of trouble, ever, with one player throughout 13.5 years with contracts. And why they weren't carried out and signed and sent off by the secretary, I will never know.
Well,
now, on that same programme, Brian said that there was no warmth in the club. Now, that really shook me.
Did I say no warmth?
You said no warmth in Leeds United. Now, that was the closest thing that any relationship between players and manager and staff have ever had.
Did I say no warmth between me and them, or no warmth in the club?
No, you said no warmth in the club, Brian.
I don't remember. If I did say it, then obviously the warmth that you generated between you and the players, that can't be taken away.
Never.
That's ridiculous.
Never ever.
Can't be taken away.
Well, as an experienced
Just a
manager, Don Revie, what do you think was wrong with Brian Clough's approach to Leeds as a manager?
Now that's asking for me to do something that I know nothing at all about. I've known Brian a long time. What his approach is as a manager, I've never played under him, I've never worked under him. That is impossible for me to answer.
You see, you have different styles as managers, and it's generally believed, with what accuracy, that you don't get on particularly well. Now, why is that, Brian Clough?
Well, when I was a manager of Derby County and I was in direct conflict with Don Revie and his Leeds side, it's natural I didn't get on with him because invariably they were above us. That's the flippant answer. Having said that, I believe in a different concept of football to Don. I think. I believe that it can be played slightly different to the way Don plays it and get the same results. Now that might mean, you know, aiming for utopia, and it might mean being a little bit stupid, but that is the way I am. I'm a little bit stupid regarding this type of thing. I'm a little bit of an idealist. I do believe in fairies, and that is my, you know, outlook. Now, Don's slightly different, and his record proves over results that he perhaps is right. But having said that, I want to be like me.
Well,
Don obviously wants to be like him.
Is this question of style the reason why the two of you don't get on?
Well, I don't know. I think that, truthfully, Brian is a fool to himself. I must be very, very honest here. I honestly feel that he's criticised Matt Busby, Bertie me personally, Norman Hunter, Peter Lorimer, Billy Bremner, Peter Story. He's criticised so many people in the game whose records stand to be seen. He's criticised so many people. This is his style. If he wants to be that style, fair enough. But I think that is totally, totally wrong for the game of professional football. He says about honesty and things like this. But when you talk about honesty, if honesty is going to destroy the game, then you're in all kinds of trouble. I think you're doing the game a great disservice.
Yes, I would.
In other words, the accusation is that you're ready to shoot your mouth off about
So now when you talk about...
I would agree
let
completely.
me answer this question first.
Yes,
Let me answer
sorry.
this question first. He talked about winning the championships better or differently. Our record is there to be seen for 11 years.
Yes.
Right? The first 4 to 5 years, I've always said this, we played for results. The last 4 to 5 years, we've been the most entertaining side by crowd entertainment and topping charts with national newspapers and television.
Also, Don, the disciplinary chart.
The disciplinary chart,
You topped that.
we topped that once.
Well, you topped it for the last 2 or 3 years.
No, that's not true. It wasn't 100% right, I will agree.
Sorry?
It wasn't 100% right, discipline on the field, and last year we straightened it out.
Well, it was. You were
Yeah.
the top.
Yeah. But when you see, Brian, when you talk about coming to take the Leeds job and you had all these things and all these worries about stepping in my shoes and one thing and another.
Which I had.
Yes, you had. But why? Why did you come from Brighton to Leeds to take it over when you'd criticised them so much and said we should be in the second division for this and we should do this and we should do that? Why do you take the job?
Well, because I thought it was the best job in the country.
Of course it was the best job in
I
the
was
country.
taking over the league champions.
Yeah, you were taking over the Leeds champion. You were taking over the best bunch of players that you've ever seen.
Well,
that you'll ever,
I didn't know about the players, Don.
You didn't know?
I didn't know them intimately like you do. But I know you were the league champions, and I was taking over the league champions. I wanted to have a crack at the European Cup this year.
Yes.
I think that was near and dear to your heart also.
Yeah. Yes.
I wanted to win it. I wanted to do something you hadn't done. Now, when I think I said it to Trevor Cherry, actually, or most of the players, he said to me, what can you do that the boss hadn't done? You, the boss, referring to you. And I said, I want to win the league, but I want to win it better. Now, there is no other reply to that question.
No, but
because you had won the league.
Yeah, but there's no way you could win it better.
Why
'Cause
not?
No.
But that's the only hope I've got.
We'd only lost 4 matches. And
But I can only lose 3.
No.
I couldn't give any other answer. And I
No.
wanted to win the European Cup. I believe that it
Well-
was just a fraction, Don. A fraction. I don't know this because I've not spoken to you. But I believe it was a fraction whether you took the England job or had another shot at the European Cup.
That is totally true, because I was so involved with the players and everybody at Elden
Good
Ring.
lad. Now, I wanted to do that, and I want to do it better than you. You can understand that, can't you?
Yes, and I think if
Good
you'd
lad.
said that to our players, then you would have got the message across.
I couldn't say that to our players, as you say. I couldn't say that to our players just as a bold statement. You see, when I went in there, there was friction.